Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcaster. That's what they call, when I'm on Strong Island and in Ronkonkoma, North Shore, South Shore, or right up the middle, where I belong. That's what I could be called the podcaster. Or is that the right area? I don't know. You're in the right place if you're looking for the podcast to put you to sleep by going off topic and mixing you up. Because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And here's a couple of ways we're able to keep this podcast free for everybody. Isn't this great? Hey, what's cooking, listeners? Well, HelloFresh is cooking because you can get mouth-watering seasonal recipes and pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door with HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. And HelloFresh makes cooking at home fun, easy, and affordable. And I just signed my parents up for HelloFresh. So I don't know if you can relate to some of the reasons I signed them up. One is because HelloFresh's recipes are delicious. But I really wanted to help my parents break out of the dinner rut because HelloFresh has over 22 seasonal chef-curated recipes every week. So I knew, I could easily find something that fits my parents' tastes and their diets. It saves time because HelloFresh cuts out the stressful meal planning and prepping. So you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes. And HelloFresh is going to help my parents eat more sustainably because their pre-portioned ingredients mean there's less prep for you and less food waste. And, I'll be honest, my dad's a little bit of a picky eater. Maybe you have a kid in your life that's a picky eater or someone else, and that's cool. Like HelloFresh allows for that because it's flexible and it fits your lifestyle. You could easily change up your delivery days or your food preferences or even skip a week when you need to. And it really is America's best value meal kit. And I can even tell you, usually I talk about a meal I made, but I'm cooking with my parents. The first meal I'm going to cook with them is a shrimp spaghetti with a kick because they both love shrimp. It has zucchini, garlic, herb butter, and chili. So I'm really, really looking forward to guiding them through the process, getting them comfortable. But, HelloFresh with their recipe cards and everything make it easy anyway. And you really need to check out this deal because it is amazing. All you need to do is go to HelloFresh.com/sleep10 and use the code sleep10 for 10 free meals, including free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/sleep10 and use the promo code sleep10 for 10 free meals, including free shipping. And I'm really excited. With this deal, there is really no reason not to try it. So if you're on the fence, get over there right now. HelloFresh.com/sleep10. Let me know about it. Let me know how it went so I can thank you on the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, it's time for one of my favorite parts of the show, the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Things are changing in podcasting, and the thing our Sleepy Supporter Zone keeps from changing is the podcast is free for everybody whenever they need it. So these are really the allies of the podcast, and it is a decision I've made. Keep the podcast free, add in listener supported, or have it as a paid service. I don't want that. I want it free for you whenever you need it. And I want to thank Sarah C., who made a delicious dinner, signed up for our sponsor, HelloFresh, posted a picture of Sarah C.'s dinner. It looks so good. It looks delicious. I'm looking at it right now. So thank you, Sarah C. If you support a sponsor like HelloFresh or some of our newer sponsors, let me know what you got from KiwiCo. Let me know what you chose in your Grove box, and then I'll thank you on the Sleeper Supporter Zone. Let the sponsor know on social media how you heard about them, why you supported them, that you value our partnership. And then I can thank you on the Sleepy Supporter Zone because I'm so thankful. I do not want Sleep With Me behind a paywall as we see these changes in podcasting. I want to keep it free for you whenever you need it. So thank you so much, Sarah, for the help with that. And Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show, and people love it when I say for the love of Barbara Budd. But as it happens, you have a podcast with the same name, not the Barbara Budd Show. That would be my dream. Anyway, Mr. Bard, tell us about that.
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Kenny, Scotty, and Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullaby zone. I'm making a podcast. Writing songs. It's called As It Happens. Song a day. can find it. Just search for it. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance to be part of Nine Vale Presents. So now on with the show.
Thanks, Mystery Bart. That's As It Happens, How Jonathan Mann Makes a Song a Day. Check it out in your podcast app of choice. I'm at Dearest Scooter on Twitter and Instagram, and that's it. Let's get on with the show. Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake, or whether it's thoughts you're thinking about, thoughts, things on your mind, feelings, emotions, senses, physical sensations. If it's any of those keeping you awake, or changes in time or temperature, routine, how do you spell that word? No, STRE to the double S, holy moly. This is the only podcast where I could say Voldemort, or however, Voldemort, right? But this is the only podcast where I could say Voldemort or Beetlejuice. Probably shouldn't say them again, though. Especially Beetlejuice. I shouldn't say that another time. And I'm not going to. Sorry, B. But really, those other words with the double S's, I try to skip over that one. How do you feel about me calling you Voldy and is it Ned Beatty? Or it's always Ned Beatty, but I always see Beatty. Is it Ned Beatty? Beetle does not know. Okay, I got to get back to whatever's keeping you awake, I'm going to try to take your mind off of that. I'm going to try to create a safe place here where you could kind of get comfortable, get cozy, and it's going to ease you into bedtime. Yeah, get ready. I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night here. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones. Oh, so creaky. Just a bit dulcet with a dash of dulcet. I call them creaky, dulcet tones, but, they're... He said, what's the biggest ingredient? I'd say creaky, leaky, creaky stuff with a dash of dulcet tones. Pointless meanders, though. Got those superfluous tangents. I'm going to go off topic and be a bit silly and goofy because I'm here to keep you company as you fall asleep. Now, if you're new, I'm glad you're here. And let me give you a couple pieces of information, because if you're new, if you never listened to this podcast before, particularly if you just found your way here, because you said, holy mackerel, I'm a big JCPenney fan, and finally I get to hear more about James Cash Penney. I had to tune into this podcast. Also, I wanted to fall asleep. I was looking to combine those two, and I said, well, you're in the right place, maybe. But this podcast, let me just tell you structurally what to expect, because that's very different than most podcasts, probably even sleep podcasts. So the show starts off with a few minutes of business. That's kind of essential for regular listeners. I guess it's an inconvenience for new listeners or listeners that only listen once in a while. But that inconvenience is outweighed by the fact that I'm able to give the podcast to you for free. So I guess it's a balance thing. And the show starts off a little bit more faster paced, but now we're into the easing down, wind down part of the show. So that's the show. Starts off with business. Oh, then the ease down, wind down part. I call it an intro. Not everyone agrees with that, but it is the introduction to the podcast. It just takes a long time. And the reason it takes so long, I mean, one, natural talent. I mean, I don't mind saying I have a natural talent at not getting to the point or making sense. But it's also here to give you plenty of time to drift off, to get ready for bed. If you start listening as you get ready for bed or as you're in bed, getting comfortable, getting cozy, those kind of stuff. Get petting your pets or brushing stuff, balming. This is the balming season. I'll tell you what, I didn't balm my backside, but that is a cheap alliteration that I'd like to say. Backside balm. The only balm on sleep. Tonight's episode sponsored by Backside Balm. Put a little balm on your backside. It'll be, it's, why wouldn't you? I mean, unless you're somewhere where you say, Scoots, I have to sit bare bottomed where I can't move. So I need the friction. I say, okay, then don't balm your backside in that case. That's BALM by the, so I can understand it. If you say, well, I'm doing I'm in this new competition where you sit on a slide, but you don't slide. And I'd say, well, it's interesting. I thought I had strange habits, but holy cow, that's quite a pastime. It's in clement weather, not inclement weather, right? It is, Scoots. Don't worry. Here's a question. I know that we're already off topic, being off topic, but how come no one says the weather outside is clement? Right? You say it's inclement or inclement. I don't know how to pronounce that word either. Inclement weather, right? And then there's climate, which is a more general word. But how come the weather person doesn't say, holy mackerel, is it going to be clement today? Put your umbrellas away. Take those galoshes and throw them in the closet because you're not going to need them today. And then the anchors and the the traffic person would say, what do you mean clement weather? Does that mean it's going to be, is it going to be balmy? Oh no, it'll be like only if you like balmy, only if you define it's going to be clement. Any sleeves, shirt sleeves or no sleeves, pants, you could wear shorts, always have a light jacket, but that's going to be clement. Holy cow. Perfect for walking around, walking pets, talking and listening to sleep podcasts. And it's not going to be so clement. You should balm your backside when you're at home, by the way, even though today's news weathercast is brought to you by Backside Balm. And, the great, also, this is a new sponsor we just got, just this minute, the great Slide Sitting Festival. It's not a competition. It's a festival of the joy sitting on slides. That's a good. Oh, sorry. I was in the middle of trying to tell you what the intro was. It's a point where I go off topic as you ease into bedtime. So if you're new, I mean, that was that wasn't even gratuitous. That was, like I said, sometimes I have natural talent to get distracted. I mean, I could spend all day talking to that side, thinking, I definitely have done enough podcasts to know that I got to give Backside Balm a rest. But I'm just picturing, I'm just like, it's just funny, because it's true. You say, well, I guess it would be Backside Balm. Every backside could use a little balm. Okay, when occasion, during this season in particular, you balm your hands. So I guess especially after you sat on a slide, the Backside Balm could sponsor that slide sitting festival. They say, you're after all day sitting on a slide in clement weather, you'd think I'd be just full of the joy of sitting on a slide all day long. And being in the moment, holy cow, is it great. But when I'm done, and I get home and I'm in the privacy of my own environment, it's time, one of the ways I unwind. So if you're new, though, sorry. So the intro is just a part of the beginning of the show. I try to explain what the podcast is, but it takes me like 20 minutes But really, it's a chance for you to get comfortable, to get settled in. Some listeners fall asleep. About 2% of listeners skip ahead like 20 minutes. It's easier. I mean, that's one option, but you could also become a patron. Then you get the story-only portions of the show or ad-free versions of the show. But, yeah, most listeners, this is part of their wind down. It's getting comfortable time. And, this is where you get to fall asleep where you're mildly amused. You say, well, I never know how to take Scoots. He's got an idea that has like a modicum of sense. And they say, well, wasn't that one of my autobiographies I wrote, A Modicum of Sense? At first I was going to make it my own because it reminds me of me. But then I thought about it, the history, my life as a penny. Maybe that could be a podcast episode. Hopefully I don't forget that. A Modicum of Sense. I guess that's what I can't do it tonight. But actually it's funny because tonight's episode has J.C. Penney in there. The J.C. Penney story. I guess that would be it. My imaginary biography of J.C. Penney. A Modicum of Sense. Or, the history of the penny or something. History, penny collector's history. Of how I lost my penny collection. Those are always good. Of how I learned how I lost the world's most expensive penny collection, but learned to learn some common sense. I guess you don't learn common sense, so you gain it, you acquire it. So maybe that would be a bit better. How, the story of the largest penny heist in the history of the world and how they, okay. Anyway, so none of that has to do with the intro of the podcast, except it's just a part of it. So I'm here to keep you company as you drift off. So the intro is just a long-winded wind down. Yeah, that's the intro. Then there's some business. Then there's the story. Tonight it'll be are ongoing, episodically modular. Modularity is starting tonight. As Will Smith once sang, we're getting procedural with it. Na, 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 na. Get procedural with it. That's what we're doing tonight. Because it's going to be a procedural series you can listen to in any order of two best friends, James Catchpenny and Richard Warren Sears. Working together to help people, of course. And then there's some thank yous at the end. So that's the structure of the show. This is a podcast you don't need to listen to. You can listen. As you've seen, it does contain words, and the words are strung together in familiar, but you'd say, that looks familiar, but I've never seen it put together like that before. And they say, yeah, that's what they say to me when I show up at IKEA, too. Every time. And they say, did you do that intentionally as hard? I say, well, oh, yes. Yes, I call this the Stravelfossen. Yeah, totally. And they say, that's actually the name of that. And they said, oh, you know what? I forgot about. Sorry, IKEA. I'm in the middle of a podcast intro. So, okay. So, yeah, it's a podcast you don't really need to listen to. So there's no pressure to listen or follow along, but you can. I'm here to be your bore bud, to be your companion. And if you need to listen, I'm going to be here till the very end. I make this show for the sliver of people that can't sleep as much as I do for all the people that fall asleep real fast. And that is like two things that you go walk out on to get that are parallel and matching that you go to get a boat by, or also known as paradox. Well, that might be the worst joke I've ever told in the podcast, and because I don't think there's been a worse one. But that's like kindergarten humor there. There's paradox. What kind of pants do you see on a dad? Anyway, okay, so at a business casual event. Sorry, including me. So where was I? This is a podcast you don't need to listen to. I mean, boom, we got that covered. And there's also no pressure to fall asleep. I'm going to be here for about an hour to keep you company as you drift off. Like I said, if you can't sleep, I'm going to be here to keep you company too. And you could queue up 8 hours of episodes if you need them. So there's no pressure to listen, no pressure to fall asleep. And I don't know. I think that's it. I mean, the other important thing that new listeners discover, some people the show doesn't work for. I really wish it worked for everybody. Because I believe you do deserve a good night's sleep, and I'd love to help. But give it a few tries, because the podcast is so different and unexpectedly dull. But you say I didn't expect a paradox joke that makes sense on paper. And I'd say that's right, it does. It makes it just like this. I'm trying to think of another joke that's based on the schematics of docs. Because I actually have, those are dockets. I have a pair of dockets, but that's not the same, huh? So I'm here to keep you company, to take your mind off stuff. Give it a few tries. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people have said, actually millions of people have, now that I think about it, that it took a few tries to get used to the podcast, and then eventually started putting them to sleep, or they realized, oh, wait, it's never going to make any sense. And I'm laughing because that's the truth. And I love that it's the truth. It makes me very happy, because nothing can make me happier than you getting a good night's sleep. So you're rested, so you can live your life. You can enjoy things, and you don't have that dread. So I'm glad you came by. I really do appreciate your time, even though I kind of use it in a strange way. Another thing, if you're new, believe it or not, I work very hard on the show because I yearn and I strive to help you fall asleep. And here's a couple of ways we're able to keep this podcast free for everybody. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about, I don't know if I've ever been more excited about a sponsor, so I really, really, sit up and pay attention. I really want you to hear about this sponsor, and that's Grove Collaborative. And Grove wants to make it as easy as possible for you to make the switch to natural products. They carry brands you know and love, like Mrs. Meyer's, but they also have amazing Grove-made products. They have that Grove detergent dispenser and their own laundry detergent. And on top of that, the detergent dispenser cuts plastic waste by 80%. They have 100% recycled trash bags, all of that at grove.co. Grove Collaborative is the online marketplace that delivers all natural home, beauty, and personal care products directly to you. And Grove takes the guesswork out of going green. Every grove.co product is guaranteed to be good for you, your family, your home, and the planet. So you can save time from, reading all those confusing labels. And I don't know what I'm more impressed with, whether it's the glass spray bottle and the cleaning concentrate when I'm cleaning my kitchen up, or the wonderful soaps they have that make it really makes my shower feel like I'm going to some expensive spa. And then shopping at Grove, it's this very personal, curated experience, because with Grove, they take that part out. You don't got to go to multiple stores or search endlessly online. They bring all the natural goods you need for you and your family. It's laid out in an easy-to-navigate way. And you could join over 2 million lifetime customers, including old Scoots here, who trust Grove Collaborative to make their homes happier and healthier. Plus, shipping is fast and free on your first order. And for a limited time, and I don't see how not every listener is signing up for this. I can't understate this. You go to grove.co/sleep. And you'll get a free 5-piece cleaning set from Mrs. Meyer's and Grove. That's a $30 value. And all you got to do is go to grove.co/sleep to get this exclusive cleaning offer. It's that simple. Get over there. Let me know about it. Share with me a picture of you smiling and cleaning at the same time. I mean, who would have thought that would be possible, right? So go to grove.co/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, hey, everybody, it's time for our episodically modular series, Get Besos, the tale of Richard... I don't know why that got stuck in my mouth. The tale of Richard Warren Sears and James Cash Penny's escape from purgatory, or a place I've slightly confused it, in a pursuit of Jeff Besos, who's in pursuit, they're in pursuit, they're trying to get Jeff, I'm trying to think of a way to explain it. Like, you used to have a flash, you would return to Earth and attempt to catch Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon.com, who they feel crushed the retail empires. But while they're in pursuit of Jeff, the real reason is that happened in season 1. Now they're actually friends with Jeff because they had 2 seasons of adventures, but they're still returning to Earth in pursuit of Jeff, who's actually in pursuit of someone named Z-Biff, who in this Earth, it's a little bit different than our Earth, as in Z-Biff is the founder of Z-Biff, which is, so it's Z-Biff's the name. Z-Biff is also the game. And Z-Biff is a social shopping platform that's really predominant. And so Jeff, let's see if I can fill you in here. So Jeff escaped from purgatory first, headed to Earth, or Earth 2, but we're just going to call it Earth for brevity's sake, because that 2 takes up way too long. It's not, I don't think it's actually called Earth 2, though, but so Jeff Bezos, a fictional character, headed to Earth to go get another fictional character, Z-Biff. That's one name, a single name, whatever they call that, pseudonym or whatever. So famous that their platform is also called Z-Biff. So Jeff basically was, let me give you this in conversational tone. Once upon a time, that's not, okay, let me give it to you in fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was 2 best friends, James Cashpenny, Richard Warren Sears. They found themselves in purgatory for the second time. And purgatory is wicked boring. Then Richard Warren Sears was also spending some time with Jeff Bezos, also in purgatory. And Jeff was upset about this person on Earth, Z-Biff, who runs a social shopping platform. It used to be called, at one point they were called websites. Now they're platforms. And Jeff decided to go to Earth because Jeff felt like the Z-Biff social sharing platform and Z-Biff were not helping humanity. So Jeff said, I'm going to go sneak out of purgatory, go get Z-Biff. Now, Richard Warren Sears and James Cashpenny, they're totally best friends. So then they said, James was sleeping for a while. And when at some point he woke up, he said, where's Jeff? This happened in episode 1. But I want to make sure you're caught up, or catched up. So he said, where's Jeff? And RW said he went to Earth to get Z-Biff. So they decided to go to Earth to get Jeff, because they said, well, you can't just go, why would you sneak out of purgatory to go get somebody? That's not a great idea. You could get in trouble, is all you're going to get. When you try to get someone, all you get is trouble. That's cross-stitched somewhere. And also, they learned their lesson. They had already done this. That's how they actually became friends with Jeff, was that they snuck out of purgatory the first time to go get Jeff, and it didn't work out. It did work out, I guess, in some sense, because they became friends. It just didn't work out like they had planned. So, oh, boy. So basically, that's it. They're headed to Earth to go get Jeff before Jeff gets Z-Biff. And it's a procedural episodic series. It may not sound like that. You say, holy cow, Scoots, this is like one of those great serials that I can't remember the title of. Was this in the Outer Worlds? Was there a poster of this in the Outer Worlds? I'd say no. I wish there was, but no, this one doesn't take. So it's just a serial and episode. It's not really serialized. Except for beginning, there's a slight seriality to it, I'll admit it. But you can consume it in any order. 1, because these long-winded beginnings to each episode. 2, I am designing each episode in a procedural, episodically modular way. So this episode is like fairly self-contained, but that's what you need to know. Main characters, James Cashpenny, Richard Warren Sears, fictional characters, or, fictionally influenced. They're just fiction because totally. Fictionalized, is that what I'd say? But yeah, so basically last episode, I think I covered it. They snuck out of purgatory to go find Jiff. They did have a list of communities and individuals impacted by the ZBIF social sharing and shopping platform. So that's what they're going on, is this list. And, the other thing is I caught up with them a little bit late. So they have been on Earth for a while doing stuff. But so without further ado, I'll turn it over to our Hollywood person who introduces the show, and then the narrator after that. So here's Antonio Banderas. Thank you. That was a mouthful, Scooter. This is the ladies, this is the gentlemen, this is the boys and girls, this is the friends beyond the binary. It's time for another opportunity for friendship in The Adventures of James Cash Benny and Richard Warren Sears, starring in Get Besos. Yeah. Thank you, Antonio. Yeah, why don't you go rest? I mean, I know when we're recording this, it's like a real busy time of the year. So why don't you actually rest? I know you fall asleep sometimes, but you could do go get on top of my show covers that I put on top of my bed. I know it feels a little bit like a drop cloth because it's not though. It's a bedcloth. It's a bedcloth I dropped on my bed for you to lay on, and then you can drive back to L.A. That's Mr. Antonio Banderas. This is Get Besos, Season 3. Oh, hi, everybody. This is the narrator, and when we're returning to the series here. Welcome back. All right, everybody, here's as the narrator, I'm just going to turn it over. RW and James they just headed to another community, kind of like one of those, like not a suburb, one of those really nice neighborhoods, a town not far from, like a town within an urban center. But they haven't started their next mission yet because, I'll be honest, they're talking about it. None of their missions have gone good thus far. They weren't even narratable. I didn't have the ability to narrate them. But that's what they're okay, buddy. I realize you want to go over. Okay, so what do you want to go over, James? The things are that so far we've caused a bit of chaos, I guess. Okay, why don't you tell me where you think things have gone wrong? Okay, well, Richie, we've seen a lot of things that just haven't worked. So far we've learned is that when we're dealing with things impacted by the social sharing and shopping platform known as ZBiz, being direct or confrontation doesn't work, shaming doesn't work, reassuring and then reasoning. I think that's what we tried last time. That did not go well. No, buddy, it did not go. I mean, maybe I should have taken the reasoning part and you should have taken the reassuring part instead of you doing both. Well, yeah, but you were saying that none of them were reasonable. So how do you reason? Well, yeah, if people aren't reasonable, how do you can't reason within, yeah, right, James. Okay, talking didn't work. I don't know, like appealing to empathy and compassion. We try that 3 times in a row. It didn't. Well, yeah, that goes back to being direct when you can't. Or also, James, I mean, it's S to H to AME. When you tell someone they're not compassionate or empathetic. Yeah, but, okay, so yeah, we're learning. We've made a lot of mistakes, and we still have this huge list. I'm just saying, if we're going to get this going, I don't know, because now Jiff's going to have to either take care of all those ones that we made worse. Appealing to people's good side. I didn't realize that was a bad idea till now. Right, James? I mean, as ubiquitous as this... is everybody's in this community, it feels like a lot of bubbles and separate worlds. And, but so, okay, what are you saying we should do for this next one? I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at it and I feel like we're like in the doghouse in some sense, and it's a big mess. And it's a doghouse of our own building. And okay, buddy, you're a little down, James. You're not making a total lot of sense. But you know what it reminds me of? The good times we had just not that long ago when we were sitting around watching, once we got the internet, Jiff also had some stuff on a USB thing, and we were able to watch the Marie Kondo show, James. Remember the times we had, like, I mean, at her clients, we were making all those comments about them. Richie, I wasn't there. I was curled up. Remember, I wasn't there. So why don't you tell me, you were making jokes about people on reality shows again, like what we did with the dog whisperer like 20 years ago? James, it was just as sweet as that. Actually, the shows are very similar, James, now that you bring it up. But so just in case you don't know, because you clearly are looking at me like you don't, Marie Kondo is a person that helps people get their lives in order, particularly their organization. Tidying up was her book. And she helps people kind of put things in order, declutter, get rid of things that they don't need, spark joy. And she like, I mean, I have great respect for Marie Kondo, but okay, Richie, yeah, I'm never comfortable with making fun of people on reality shows. Well, when you were talking about the clients of the dog whisperer, you sounded pretty comfortable with your joking, James. Okay, well, maybe I've changed, but so what does this have to do with anything? So you were sitting around. Why did you start thinking of sitting around making fun of Marie Kondo's clients on her show? Also, we were going to watch this. We watched the other both. See, remember, James? Do you know they rebooted Queer Eye? Okay, well, okay. So that's structured. So what is triggering your memories of Marie Kondo, Queer Eye, Dog Whisperer? I can't remember, James. Oh well. Okay, well, when I remember about the Dog Whisperer in the original Queer Eye was that it was structured in a way. Actually, they must have learned from our mistakes. Maybe were there shows before that didn't work out? Because I think that's Richie. You got it. Like Now, I don't know what Marie Kondo's method was, but they would never talk about things directly. Like, they would help the people. I guess, like, but you know what I mean? They would help them, right? Marie Kondo, actually, she teaches people about how to put things in nice boxes and fold things, and rarely talks about the big things, right? Is that what you're saying, James? Right, like our indirect, because it's like all subtextual almost. What do you mean, James? Okay, so let's try to look at our current problem under this lens, the Kondo, this lens of these reality are they reality shows? They're too real, James. So there was this one time. Okay, I don't want to hear about anybody you picked on. Oh, we didn't pick on them, James, because they're just on the TV. And then eventually everything worked out in the end. Okay, anyway, so we're in this town. This is a city, though. Right, it feels like a town, though. It's very quaint, even though it's on the edge of a big city. Okay, and then what was the problem that Jiff was researching? Well, buddy, it's not a pretty problem. It's one that plagues so many communities, James. And it's pets. Okay, is this better for, maybe that we should use the dog whisperer method then? Oh, no, James, it's not about pet behavior. It's about people behavior. Okay, it's people that don't clean, they take their pets for a walk, particularly dogs, James, and they just keep walking. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't pick up after their pets. Correct, James? Okay, and what does Jiff have to say about it in his notes? Well, Jiff theorizes that this is one of these keystone problems of these social sharing platforms where the other S comes in, SHAMEINGing, along with other issues we'll cover on here, but that it's a source of a lot of feelings on these platforms and then actions, but none of which have been resulted in any kind of resolution. Okay, let me take a look here. Yeah, so we have this person, they seem to be leading. Oh, wow, so this is very specific. So they, okay, so in this community, okay, it's spread everywhere. This happens, makes sense. There's people that don't pick up after their pets, just right on the sidewalk or whatever. And because of the ubiquitousness of this platform, at first they would, it would be something you'd say, hey, didn't do, sometimes people would say it to people. But now with all the ability to take pictures and sharing their posts, it's actually a kind of a poo posting, James. It's a new way of defining that. Okay, so this person is the one, they're behind doing all the posting of the pictures, and that has resulted in what? Well, here's what's interesting, James. It hasn't changed anything. It hasn't changed anyone's behavior. Now they actually, it's just created more, right. It's one of these things that Jiff is so upset about. It's made things not better in a strong way. Right, James, because particularly one of the people is a city council member that doesn't clean up, like that's the one that's, like this is the one. So they don't clean up after they got their picture taken, and then it became a thing. They still ran and got reelected twice. Okay, so this is, why don't we go to this house? What if we use the Kondo method? We go there and we just try to observe the person, but try to make it like work with them, just like we were on one of those shows. Could I be the star, James? I'll be the producer and you be the star, but you'll be the talent. Like, so that'll be like talent mentality. Have you heard that? No, James, but I mean, does it mean my mind is superior because I'm so talented? It means that as talent, you're going to be a little bit more in the background, probably we'll have someone bringing you lemonade and stuff. You won't be bothered because you will be preparing for filming, which we'll never do. Or maybe we'll say it's like a podcast or something. I don't know. But we'll say that, yeah, I'm the producer. You're the talent. James and RW. We'll go by our names. And we'll just kind of flush it out. James. Yeah, but I mean, really. Okay, this is the house anyway. We're walking there. Oh, hello. Hi. Yes. Yeah, I'm James Cash, and this is my buddy RW. We're producers of a podcast about that, about Z-Biz. No. We don't work for Z-Biz. We're kind of doing a podcast about the impact of Z-Biz on the community. Z-Biff, I'm sorry. I get it. Sometimes, no, it is a bear, but I mean, it is, I think that's what we're going to call it. That's going to be the name of the podcast, actually, Z-Biz. It'll be about the Z-Biff platform. That's why I get it so mixed up. It'll be a narrative podcast. Thanks for not asking what a podcast is. That's great to know. Yeah, it'll be like a narrative. I don't know. I'm the producer. RW here is the talent. So, RW will be doing the narration. Yeah, so we know we've been reading up, we've been doing our research, and we see that you've had a lot of issues with people not picking up after their pets. What's up with that, huh? Yeah, we see all that, and we were wondering. So we have all the information about what's currently been happening. Oh yeah, we'd love to come in. Thank you so much. Wow, you got a lot of boxes in here. Are you a fan of Marie Kondo? James, Marie Kondo doesn't exist in this. Oh, Marie Kondo. Never mind. I just. That's like she's a bespoke box maker. Where I'm from, but back east. Sorry about that. Okay, so we know you've been having an issue with this, and you really have been dedicated to this cause of holding people to task that don't clean up after their pets. Yeah, well, we were thinking, actually, I'll be honest, we're not journalists, so we were thinking, we both used to work on reality TV. And so we were thinking like, what if RW here helps you? Well, it's a show we haven't launched yet, so I'm still thinking of ideas. I originally thought it would be more of a business show, like a narrative show, but what if RW and you work together? I mean, he has the talent to come up with other ideas to deal with your problem. Sorry, to deal with the community's problem that you're helping to solve. Correct. Like a way we can make it more positive and fun. RW, do you have any ideas of so punitive measures have not worked. That'd be normally what I would do. And your public posting of them, that backfired and that created, the city council and all that. So here's an idea. What about something fun? Like James said, like, is there any fun ideas we could come up with to do something that's empowering in a way, like something fun, right, James? Right, RW. That's what I was hoping you'd come up with some fun ideas. Have you thought any? Like, you've just been. I can see it's like not. It hasn't been. It's been a lot of work for you, huh? Dealing with this, yeah. Well, okay, let's run through it. So people take their pups or their full-size things out, and a small percentage of people, they just keep going. Is that when the animal goes, they keep going? Okay, yeah, not always exactly like that, but they never stop. They don't stop. They don't think twice. It doesn't seem like it, huh? And naturally, if someone comes across that, or it's their sidewalk or their yard, or they step in it, that's going to be smoke coming out the old ears. And you seem like you've taken a lot of measures and it hasn't gotten on people's radar. They just haven't changed their behavior, huh? Okay, so yeah, some of the other things you did before. Okay, tell me about what you did. Okay, so you used to put up dog bags everywhere. And then you put signs up to the dog bags. Okay, that I like. James, what about a flag? Okay, what do you mean, RW? Like, what about a dog bag flag? Okay, what do you mean, RW? Okay, so we take your wonderful idea, and we take it as a flag, and we put it in there with a flag on it. And the flag is a dog bag. Maybe there's a coupon to buy it on ZBiz, too, that says, hey, by the way, use this dog bag next time. Okay, that's not that bad idea, RW. I like that idea. Okay, so what do you think? Could we try that? You have bulk dog bags. Let's try to make some dog bag tags, dog bag flags. What else would we need? Maybe maybe we could use some of those, like skewers or chopsticks. Or do you have any, what else could we could use sticks from the yard. Okay, why don't you work on that? We're going to go, we're going to have a production meeting, and we'll be back. When you're done with that's how I don't know when we'll record anything. But yeah, we'll be back. We're going to go have a production meeting and see you in a bit. Okay, James, that seems to work pretty good. It does. Well, here's what I think. I think we should do is we'll take a break, and then we'll meet with the city council member that walks their dog, and see when. Oh, here's an idea. Yeah, let's once we have the dog bag flags, we'll go out with the city council member. We'll interview them. Then we'll go out with them when they walk their dog and encounter a dog bag flag. That'll be, since we're not journalists, we can get away with this kind of stuff. If this is more reality, this is in our wheelhouse. Okay, buddy, let's go do that then. Okay, let's figure out, like, we'll go to the library, find out where they are. Hey, knock, knock, knock. How you doing? You're the city councilor, huh? Yeah, we're here. We're working on a podcast. What's a podcast? It's like a radio show. It's a streamable. Yeah, it's right on your phone, right on that app. Yeah, the one. You never opened it? Well, we could tell you about some podcasts to check out. James, don't you think it's strange that in this version of Earth it's called a podcast too? Is it called a podcast too, Richie, or just a podcast? James. Sorry. I'm the talent, actually. I'm RW. This is James Cash. And yeah, so we're working on this show, and it's about this, we're calling it ZBiz. It's about ZBiz, a social sharing and shopping platform, and its impacts on the community. We know it's impacted you, and, the untrue news, as you call it, correct. And we figured we would love to just spend some time with you and, just get your brilliance. We hear about your brilliance as a city council member. Oh boy, does this city get counseled by you, from what I hear. Though I did notice that you do miss a lot of meetings, city council meetings. Because you're so busy. That makes sense. I mean, you got to, there's only so much you to go around. I know how it is. I'm talent. Okay, so, you're taking your dog out for a walk. Perfect. What's your dog's name? Rover. Wow, that's, so tell us about it. So we know that you like to, what do you do when you walk your dog? Tell us a little bit about when you're walking your dog. You're just walking. Okay, well, you're a minimalist when it comes to this kind of stuff. Why are we asking so many questions? Oh, because, James, why don't you take it from here? Oh, well, we're gathering information for our story and probably get some great free promotion for you and really feature you in a way to catch your essence. And as James said, as Richie said, get an idea of that counseling you do for the city and all the other parties that you work with. Okay, with your gravel business, that's great. So tell us more about, so you're walking your dog. We're really familiar with everything. I mean, we do our due diligence. So we're familiar with, that people were, and you weren't happy about that, huh? Okay, so I'm just trying to replicate when you're out. Oh boy, yeah. Did your dog? I'm sorry. Did we distract you while we were talking? Because your dog just there's like that on the sidewalk there, public sidewalk. Yeah. Okay, you're in a hurry. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, look at that coming up here. This must be your dog's favorite block. What's that? What is that in that, like a pile? Is that a pile of leaves with a flag sticking out of it? Okay, well, hold on, counselor. What does that say? hey, is this yours? And the arrow's pointing down there. Oh, or maybe your dog's. How about cleaning it up? Oh, wow, that's creative. It's a dog bag flag with writing on it. Looks like a child made it, huh? Oh, well, I guess that's your opinion. It probably might be a beta, might be a whatever they call that, like in a beta launch. Wonder whose that flag is for. You're right, it probably is considered littering, like just letting your dog. Oh, the inorganic. So the organic's fine, even though it's on cement. It's the inorganic. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So, you're gonna call it in to what department? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, counselor. We'll see you later. We're gonna talk to you later because we gotta thank you for your time. Wow. Oh boy, Richie. That person is a handful. Yeah, I don't even know. There was no. Holy cow! This is. Do you think this is what it was? There was people like this when we were on Earth during our time too. It's not that the Zebif has made it this way. James, I've never seen behavior. I mean, I've never seen anyone so aloof and in pursuit of their own. They're so caught up in themselves that. I wonder if Jiff. Hopefully, Jiff's not. Do you think Jiff's? James, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've just been distracted this whole time. Do you think Jiff's having a worse time than us? Probably, like not even less successful than us with all of this. This is we're being zebiffed, James. I mean, I can't believe. Okay, well, what? Okay, so yeah, Richie, I am a little baffled. I mean, he let the dog go. Then they saw the thing. Huh. Okay, James, but it's not about that, right? So that's the behavior, right? Which caused other behavior. Aren't we? This has nothing to do with CBIF. You're right. This is just organic material right here. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we probably acted like that at some point, too. Oh, James, look up ahead. That's the house our friend's at, the dog bag flag. There's someone writing them a ticket. Oh, geez, they're writing a ticket for the for littering for the dog bag flags. Oh, no, that's going to escalate things, James, I think. Yeah, I mean, this definitely shoots down my backup idea, which was dog bag buddies. James, what's that? What would have been an idea building on the dog bag flags if that would have been partially successful to, I don't know, some sort of buddy system with dog bag buddies. James, did you just like how dog bag buddies sounds? I do. But I was thinking, like, you could get a certain number of dog bags. I don't know. It's not going to work, though. Okay, so, James, I think we're back where we started. So I guess we're trying to directly deal with the problem again. Once again, we fell into that. I mean, we did pretend we were reality show producers or maybe we were making a podcast, but we fell into the old trap of dealing with the problem. And, yeah, Richie, what do you think is going to happen next? How do you think they're going to react to that ticket? James, they're going to react direct. I mean, so what do we do if we're trying to help fix things and we're making it worse? And then maybe Jiff was onto something because this will go public. Then it'll be even more. It's just so strange because it's about the thing, but it's not. Right. So, yeah, it's all part of the problem. So it becomes, where did it even all start? And they say, well, it's being human, huh? Right. But then we're trying to be part of the solution. Yeah. And I was thinking, yeah, James, I mean, I was thinking we could have her, I was thinking we'd have them walk, a dog and not clean up, but then they probably say, well, that's wrong, or that's not, wouldn't be fun. So making them part of the problem or part of the solution is, I guess I'm stumped too. Okay, so let's go back to those shows because I don't really remember. Okay, so let's just say, since we're in that dog whisperer wheelhouse, right? So let's say, I guess, how would the dog whisperer or Marie Kondo deal with this? If okay, here's the thing, James. They would use, they would separate the people from the problems. That's a pretty classic technique. We probably both used it before. Right, but I think we tried to do that. Okay, then eliminate the idea of any problem at all, I think, James. I don't think they use those words on those shows, right? Okay. They try to make it positive, which we tried to do with the dog bag flags, though. Okay. Okay, James, they don't here's the thing I'm thinking. They don't necessarily grapple with solutions. They put tools in the toolbox, right? Marie Kondo isn't teaching people how to fix things. She's giving them the tools to organize or declutter. The dog whisperer is presenting techniques or behaviors that'll help with your dog's behavior. The two teams from Queer Eye are specialized in different things to help the person they're working with external and internal tools or changes in their behavior or their lifestyle. So how does that, James? So what do we do, James? You don't. Well, no, I'm just trying to push you to think on your own. Okay, so they're trying to essentially get the house in order, right? Is that what you're kind of saying? Is getting things in order by giving them the tools they need to put things in order? Right, and taking away the stress of seeing it as a problem. They probably present it as opportunities, I would say. Yeah, but how would we do that with the situation? I just have no idea. Like, we're trying to, but by the end of the episode, they get to the heart of the matter. James, that's a TV show. This is, so it's a little bit different, but I see what you're saying. So what tools could we provide someone that just walks around willy-nilly with the rover? Yeah, or that, I mean, it's like, yeah, we could try to get some things of like, I don't know. Either way, it seems, I mean, like, what if we were to teach the other person how to, like, just clean up, or, just be zen and don't let it bother you. So is there a way we could be less direct or even more indirect, or give them, so should we teach them other tools outside of those things that have nothing to do, like maybe that's what it is, we're looking at the wrong thing? Like if we help them get their another part of their house in order, would that like help them then deal, like, is that what we're trying to do here? And these are good questions you're asking, James. Like if we were just to teach them to fold their clothes, or how to put on cologne without putting on too much, or how to sear a scallop, or whatever, how to create, say, don't get on the couch. Would that help them deal with this? I don't know. I don't know what maybe Jif, maybe this was all set up, James. Maybe Jif just put us in this position. I mean, what does this even have to do with ZBIF or ZBiz either? These don't seem like connected other than the end, their attempts to solve the problems. Okay, so we're not, okay, so we can't teach them to fix things. We don't know what tools to put in their toolbox. If we were to help them get their house in order, I don't know, isn't that just enabled, like, isn't that just, oh boy, this is the toughest one I've ever been in. I don't know, Richie. Okay, James, why don't you think about what is so... Okay, let's think about, what if we use these techniques on ourselves? Let's get our own house in order. Why are we here? To either fix this so Jif doesn't have to fix it, so we get closer to finding Jif, or that we accidentally pick one of these things on the list that Jif will be at, or we somehow get Jif's attention, or we somehow get to ZBIF to intercept Jif. Okay, and why do you think Jif picked these things? Oh, because obviously the ZBIF social sharing and shopping platform, usually this just would have been something small, but because of the ability, it made it even larger, not in a good or bad, I mean, I guess not in a good way. It didn't lead to a solution. But it escalated everything to a bit more global than local. And, okay, James, you're right about that, even though it's also a problem in every community. And maybe this is also a problem in every community. And it's something that we're not able to grapple with because I'm not sure, James, what do you think? Well, it's like almost like... and the rules aren't able to keep up because ZBIF is beyond our ability to cope. It's moving. I don't know. I guess I don't even understand what it is that's beyond our ability to cope with it. But it's like a tool that does stuff. You know what I'm saying, James? I think I kind of do. It's a tool. There's a tool in our toolboxes, and we're not sure what it is, but it is very effective and efficient, and it does stuff, and it doesn't exactly. I don't think there's a metaphor even for it, James. That's what makes it so tough. Yeah. So, what do we do? I don't know, James. What do we do? Do we subvert things? Do we lean into this? Okay, so if we step back, I'm glad you set us right on this path, RW. It sparks joy for me. Isn't that what they say? James, it's tidy up, actually. You're joking about the wrong thing at this moment. Okay, so Jif came here for a reason, right? That involved ZBIF. And Jif's trying to find Jif's way to ZBIF, either by investigating these challenges or fixing them. So what is it? Maybe there's some message in there. Okay, Richie, how did ZBIF, why is ZBIF the most popular and dominant social sharing and shopping platform compared to the other ones that might have been out there? James, that's easy because Jif was very upset about it. ZBIF finally wrestled away control of micropayments from payment processors so that micropayments could become ubiquitous. This was years ago. And the people became used to using micropayments to pay for everything. Like searching, micropayments superseded advertising income. It became just a new frontier. Eventually, people went from micropayments to mini payments. It just got more and more expensive, but not in a graduated way as it became more and more ubiquitous. Is that like a gumball machines? Like they were a penny, then they were 2 cents, then they were 5 cents, then they were 25 cents? Hey, James, no one knows what a gumball machine is. I don't know. But I guess so. I mean, in the sense, was anybody ever comfortable paying 25 cents for a gumball, James? Or 10 cents? You skipped the dime, by the way. I think you at least got a bigger one for a dime. So then at that sense, you would be more satisfied. If you got a small one for a nickel and a big one for a dime. James, remember those things with there was like a candy ball with spikes on it or something. Remember that one? Okay, Richie. So micropayments is what ZBIF is known for. What else? Because I guess this is new to me still, this side of it. What else is ZBIF? James, the total database or database, depending on your, how you, the end of, there's the other thing they use was ubiquitous, also cost payment to access and use. Okay, what's the total database? It has everything, all the information about everything, even everything about all your information. Okay, so all the information, total database, micropayments, like even genes. Of course you could get genes. Even pets' genes. Oh, James, genes for pets. That's a great idea, but I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I remember reading an article about how, and now this is making sense, how ZBIF has kind of superseded, like it's become its own parallel, it's superseded other, right, James? You also signed the Total Compact, which is I think they call it the Social Compact when you sign up, TOS. And yeah, so you can, and it's, I think it has arbitration or something. So yeah, you could actually use it to bill people for almost anything, James. They have the ability to challenge the bill. But then, yeah, so it's a whole parallel government, basically, with its own rules, its own taxation. And it's, yeah, everybody's involved in it because all payments go through ZBIF at some point. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking is like, okay, so the total database would have pet information. Do they also sell, like, say there was a kit you could use to check whose pet left that thing? Would that be in the database? It would, James. It would. You could... I believe, of course there is. If not, someone would make a kit like that. Okay, and then, so ZBIF has its own kind of profitable legal system, a legal system for profit almost. So if we really lean in, what if these are the tools that are already in the toolbox, and we use these tools? Okay, James, I don't have any idea. I mean, I'm waiting to see if you could come to the same conclusion I have. Okay, so what if these are the tools in the toolbox. We use these to resolve things and to de-escalate, to like even the playing field almost. Okay, James, what do you mean? Like the city councilor did, they called and got a ticket for the flag. What if we get our friend to have them start a business where you test it, then you bill the person. If they're in the total database that everyone is in, you send them a cleanup bill with some sort of service fee on there. Okay, James, that is interesting, but not catchy at all. Right, but if this is a global problem or a worldwide problem, but we also want to change the behavior without escalating it, So you have a chance. Let's say the fee, these micropayments, it's $1. The first time we find something, it's $1, and then maybe it's $1, whatever. We figure out a low payment, like you're saying, not a micro payment, but something. But you could also buy into the business, so you could also pay like $30, and you would get one share in whatever we call this. I don't know. I don't want to use any of the words that would be descriptive, but we could let like the other people think of it. We're just empowering them and giving them tools. Sounds like you're building something with the tools, James. Well, a little bit, but they'll be the ones empowered to use it. Then on the second offense, it costs more. So let's say it costs $5, and then you could still buy into the business for either the same amount or a little bit more. And if you buy in, you're going to make your money back eventually, for until it goes to scale or whatever. Maybe you're guaranteed that if it doesn't profit, I don't know. We'll figure out the business side. You're getting a share in the business, James. So, yeah, you could sell your share. I understand. Okay, what about the third offense, James? On the third offense, the price goes up again, but you can't buy in. And we make that a very clear thing. And if it's profitable, like even if it's bringing in a little bit of money for everybody, I mean, eventually at some point the money would run out as people change their behavior. Or people would just pay their fines. Maybe some people don't care. But like you're saying, with the way the micropayments and the total database work, and everyone's like, they would have to pay it or they would have to challenge it, right? They can't not pay. Right, James? If you don't challenge it, you just like, because you're getting paid on ZBIF anyway, in ZBIF, James, believe me, I don't like that. That's what they call the currency too. Is it ZBIFs or ZBIF? I don't know. I can't even think about it. I mean, at least you were named after a penny, but anyway. So I like this idea, James. They would have to pay though. They could challenge it, but what would they challenge? You're being billed for a cleanup that was a result of the pet that you're linked to in ZBIF on the total database. It feels pretty open and shut. Yeah, I think that's it. I think like at least we could float that idea by everybody. It would be easy to implement. I guess that's why this thing's so ubiquitous. James, even better than that. I'm glad that we worked on this because I think the other thing is that this is going to get ZBIF's attention and it'll get us to GIF like it'll either get us to ZBIF before GIF or, I think this is good, James. So basically, yeah, they'll test it. If it's yours, you pay for it. One chance, you could either pay a low fee, fine, or buy into this startup business. Maybe ZBIF would even acquire the startup business. Second time, you pay more money, but it's still reasonable. Third time, yeah, I like it, James. And then fourth, fifth times would be microscopically increased. But that would be what would be causing the profit. It's just people that don't care at all. But it would also prevent people like the city councilor from there's no way to get out of it. You're right, James. These are great uses of the tools, I think. I mean, we're certainly subverting them, but I'm tired. Like, can we go back to the condo we rented in Rest now? James, I think we've got our job almost done for this, for tonight. Let's rest. Good night, James. All right, I want to say thanks and good night to everybody that commented on CastBox. Vanessa B. did not like the podcast. Tried it a few times, though, so you gave a few tries. Manny always has something nice to say. Thanks, Manny, and good night. Blint said, one of my faves, LOL. Canada W, I don't understand what their comment was. Bree or Bry, said, wanted to voice my appreciation for the podcast. And then Natalie gave it a try. Jill said, loves the opening jingle and really enjoys the show. A lot of respect. Numi also enjoyed the show. Thanks, and good night. Tallulah really gets a lot out of the podcast. Thaisa did not enjoy the intro. Flix doesn't understand the show, but did fall asleep to it. But now, they updated it a few months later and said, now I'm completely hooked. Don't know why, but this puts me out like a switch. I've listened to 100 episodes and fallen so asleep so fast I can't. It works for them. Chad said, ain't no party like a census party, and a census party does not stop. And another Chad said, geez, the cats come when Jonathan Mann starts the credits music. That's cool. Daniel loves the podcast. Thanks, Daniel. And that's it. Thanks, everybody, for reviewing the show over there on CastBox. Or it's a comment system on CastBox. Comments on CastBox. So that's really cool. So thanks everybody who takes the time to comment there. And really appreciate everybody who takes the time to support the podcast. That's how we keep it free for everybody. Patrons, people who support the sponsors, buy the merch. And then the podcast actually grows just from people sharing the podcast and their natural experience with it. So thanks, everybody, for doing that. And speaking of which, I want to let you know about a podcast from Night Vale Presents right here.